Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another episode. Today we have the lovely Leanne in the house, in the car, and she's going to tell us all about her jewelry business and her exploits of travels around the world. And for us Caribbeans, she's part of us. She's from the Bahamas. A very beautiful lady. So lovely to have you here today, Leanne.
Hi, thank you.
So tell us, Leanne, what kind of person were you when you were in school?
When I was in school, like not university.
Well, not you.
Yeah.
It's like starting from primary school, secondary school.
I think, I suppose I was always a little bit creative and very active person in school. I liked, I grew up in the Bahamas, so I really liked always kind of going out in the ocean and doing a lot of sports. So I suppose that was kind of what I was like. I suppose you're not sure what you're like either as a kid because you're kind of learning about yourself.
Are you inquisitive? Are you adventurous?
Yeah, okay, I'm adventurous. I've always been adventurous.
What kind of sports were you doing?
I used to sail and also swim and run a lot. Yeah, sailing was good.
Ooh, we got a fit girl in the house. Said with the most respect, of course. Okay, did you do any competitions?
Yeah, I used to do triathlons and competitions. So sailing competitions I used to do. Used to go to Texas and do like a sailing competition or a few things on the island as well, but nothing big. I wasn't good. I wasn't very good. It was just like something for fun, really.
When you say Texas, are you referring to America?
Yeah, so Austin. I did one sailing trip there.
But isn't Texas land-bound? I don't know much about America.
Texas is in America, so.
Yeah, I know.
And you can have the river.
It's got river.
Lake. Sorry, Austin, in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. So I used to do that and some experience, other competitions in the Bahamas.
You spoke about you travelled quite a bit. Where are these countries you travelled to? And what were you doing?
I've traveled. My parents always were into traveling, so living on a small island, sometimes, it's not easy to always kind of just kind of hop on a plane and go anywhere. So whenever we'd have like a lot of weeks off of school, my mom is a teacher, we'd go away to kind of like maybe skiing in Canada, or we would go, or little places like that. And then when I moved to England for university, and then I also did a study abroad in Australia. So, and I've gone all over the place, Asia as well, China, I've been, Dubai, I've got some family there. So lots of different places.
What are the culture difference that you found was hard getting used to between all those countries?
So moving to London, I mean, my mom is British, so she always took me she's from Stoke, so she always took me to Stoke every summer as a kid. So I was used to England a little bit, but I thought I was used to it. But when I moved to London, it was a massive culture shock of living on a small island and moving to the big city. It took me probably about 1 year to fully adjust. It's just all the people, even like sorting out the buses, learning the trains, learning just how to even read a city like properly. In the Bahamas, it's so small, so it's really different. Also how to dress for the cold, that was different. I got sick like twice in 3 months because I was so cold.
Did you come here in the winter?
It's just different, isn't it? Yes, I came in the winter in September-ish, start of winter almost.
It's a bit of a shock.
Yeah, and just like the shock of, I think, uni and taking care of yourself, but also not having a car. I used to just drive in the car everywhere in the Bahamas, and just kind of having no community around you. I think in the Bahamas you have a strong community and everyone knows everyone. We're here. It's not really like that. You see one person and then you never see them again.
Yeah, that's very true. If you don't make your move then, it's all over for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You said you've been to Australia.
Yeah.
And the Far East. What were the cultures like there for you?
Australia was an interesting experience. I found that it was a little bit far. The time zone is so bad that you barely can get a chance to speak to relatives at home. So that was difficult to be so far from my family and friends, and also not being so easy to speak to them. But also I found it hard, like trying to fit in with like Australians, but then also these study abroad Americans that were younger than me, and I didn't feel like I fit in properly there. Australians are quite I found a lot of the Australians I met, this is a generalization, I'm not talking for all Australians, but some people there are a little bit more cliquey and not as open to maybe other cultures maybe. I found that personally, but I can't, as I said, I can't talk to everyone, but that was my own experience.
You're the first person I've heard say that.
Yeah. Well, same. So I guess it's true. I mean, I find that they're kind of like in Australia, you've got everything, right? You've got the ocean, you've got the desert, you've got the mountains, you've got everything. So I think they're really confident about themselves, and maybe they don't, not too bothered about other kind of worlds, but that's fine. I mean, it's just maybe I didn't fit in, so yeah, that's why I left.
Were you there long?
8 months. I was ready to go. It was time.
And how did you find the Far East?
Middle East. So Dubai, I love Dubai. I love Asia. I think is really interesting. Depends where you go. Beijing was crazy city. I had a friend who lived there, so I only visited for a week, but you can't get around anywhere unless you speak a bit of Chinese, so make sure you have a translator if you go.
You can get those apps now.
Yeah, get an app, because it's really hard. My friend spoke a bit of Chinese, so it was easier, but if she didn't, I don't know how I would have done it.
And how long ago was this when you went to China?
This was in about 2016 or 17.
Okay.
And it was a very interesting experience. It was really, really, really interesting. And we went to Mongolia together with my friend for a night trip, and then we stayed in these little yurts, like in this random desert. It was really random.
I wanted to go to Mongolia. Did you see them wrestling?
No, I didn't. It was it was a very, very foreign experience, if that makes sense. But I love Dubai. Dubai is fun, great city. Well, desert's great. Yeah, I don't know, all these places. I like Asia. It really depends where you go in Asia as well. Some places are more interesting than others, you know.
So moving along, you're into jewellery now.
Yes, I am.
So tell us about your love for jewellery, why you got into it.
So jewellery, yeah. I mean, so when I was younger, I always had so it's like these little piece of 8 coins that I inherited from my father, and I always was obsessed with them, and it's kind of basically these coins that were found found in the Bahamas from a ship that sunk like in 1522, and anyway, they sell them in the Bahamas ages ago, so I got one from my father, and I always kind of started my obsession with jewelry. Then basically, always liked jewelry. I wasn't completely always thinking about it all the time though. And then I went to uni, just did a basic events or business degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Did an advertising job, didn't pass my probation because it just wasn't for me. I didn't really feel like I got proper training either, or a proper chance, and it was just really crappy. So obviously your confidence is a bit lowered when you don't pass your probation. So I didn't really want to go back to interviewing. I felt really shit. So I basically went so I decided that I always liked jewelry, and I just took a risk and did this British Academy of Jewellery course for a year that wasn't too expensive, around £2,000. Worked at a pub on the side. It was a part-time course, kind of tried to do what I could. Then my obsession grew with jewelry. I mean, it was amazing. I was making jewelry every week. I was there 3-4 days a week. It was just incredible. I absolutely loved it. Everyone was loving my Instagrams, like the jewelry I was making. People in the Bahamas are absolutely loving it. Gave me so much confidence. Year course finished, started working for a jeweler in Hatton Garden. Great experience. And then after a year, I moved on to to a different company. And on the side of all that, I've just been working on my own jewelry, and I also design engagement rings for a company. But it just really, I just love I love making jewelry, but now I design it because you can't really make it and run a business at the same time. It takes too much of your time. So I design the jewelry for my own business called Leblanc Jewelry. And
sorry, say it again.
It's called Leblanc Jewelry.
Do you want to spell that for them, please?
Leblanc.
Okay.
And the it's Leblanc Jewelry. I'll say the Instagram. One moment. So it's
LeblancJewelry.com.
LeblancJewelry.com, and my Instagram is leblanc.jewelry. So we kind of took I've always been inspired by oceanic forms and grew up from color and from growing up in the Bahamas. So the kind of inspiration comes from there, and we're getting into things called lab-grown gemstones, and right now we're currently rebranding. So it's been a journey of a few years, but it's going forward, and it's really exciting. I mean, I'm starting to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning to work on my own business, and then I go to work, and I finish at 7, and then I finish at 7 at work. And then I wake up again and work on it because I really want it to become successful.
That means you're doing what you love, and if you do what you love and you get paid for it, that's true success.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can get paid for it full time one day. That's the dream, right? I like working for someone else, and I love my job, but the dream would be to work on my own jewelry full time. And I think that's the thing, is you've got to put a lot of time into it if you really want it to work. So. Yeah. And you got to be smart about it. You got to really know. You got to have a good product, know what you're doing, and just kind of be consistent and learn from your mistakes. You got to I think you have to really kind of make sure if something doesn't work, change it. Something doesn't work, change it.
Yeah. So what does it? So I was going to say, what does the future hold for you? But I think you've answered that question.
Sorry.
The last question. It's been a great, quick interview.
Hope the future holds that for me.
What's the impact you want to have on the world?
What is the impact? I think I want to bring people joy and confidence through jewelry. I think that's exciting. I want to change some parts of the jewelry industry by offering more sustainable, gemstones. I want to allow women to feel like they can buy jewelry for themselves that will last forever, that won't break the bank. I really want to make, people, men and women who buy jewelry, a little bit not feel like they, have something that they can treasure for the rest of their lives and pass on to generations without breaking the bank over it. And this is what, lab-grown gemstones do for us. So we are doing that at the moment. And otherwise, change the world. I don't know. I mean, I think it's something we just hope to impact on the people every day a little bit.
Well, thanks a lot for that. Much appreciated. And we wish you well.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.